Hi, everyone. Welcome back for episode 19 of the Simply Whelmed podcast. I'm your host, Colin, and I'm joined here by my co-host, Chris.
How are we doing, everybody?
We're just a couple of best friends who are passionate about all things pop culture. If you're looking for lukewarm takes on movies, video games, TV shows, or even the occasional comic, then we have the show for you. And this week we went and saw Thor: Love and Thunder. We do also have to catch up on some news from last week's shorter episode, plus whatever we have from this week. So we've got a little bit of like a Marvel-heavy news week, honestly, between our review and then just what's in the news cycle. There's quite a bit of Marvel stuff, so
that's right.
Apologies, we're not in the pocket of big Disney, but I'm not. Yeah, just
sucking their dick right now.
Just call us both Bob, you know, because that's all we be doing is bobbing.
That's right.
Now, so I just gotta get this out of the way up front here. Brief story about my wife's late grandfather, and when I say late, I mean he passed away before I was dating her. But this does relate back. Apparently, when she was little, they used to go to the dog races and bet on the dogs and stuff. And he told her that she needed to watch. I believe it was dogs, because I don't think it was horses. But basically, to look for the one that took a shit, and that's the one that we're gonna bet on, because he's feeling the best, you know. Mm-hmm. He's feeling light. He's good. He's spry. And so she'd go down there and she'd watch, and she'd be like, "That's the one, number 22. He just took a deuce, you know." And I'm like, bingo, let's put the money on him. And then they do pretty well. And it was a pretty reliable metric.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that rings true, because I just took a magnificent shit. Mm-hmm. And if it's true, this is going to be a banger.
This one, it's going to
This is it. This is money. Yeah. This is the one that gets us on fucking the Today Show.
Not really. It's going to be like, this just in.
Yeah. For some reason, it turns into a triple homicide.
Yeah. Have you seen these two men?
Have you seen this man? No, I do have a lot of Marvel news. You want to hear about it? Mm-hmm. I was waiting to just say no.
No, I'm good.
No, I'm good. I'm like, all right, well, thank you guys for listening. No, so, fucking Taron Egerton, you know him by name?
Nope.
All right. He was Rocket Man. He was in the Kingsman.
Oh, yeah, I know you guys, yeah.
All right. He said that he's straight up, he's met with Marvel, including Kevin Feige.
Word?
Yeah. And then some more Marvel. We got Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio are both going to appear in the Echo series.
You said Charlie Cox?
I did. Are you excited because it's Charlie Cox or because I said Cox?
Because it's Charlie Cox.
That's what I thought. Captain America 4 has a director.
Okay.
Steven Yeun was cast in Bong Joon-ho's new movie, which Bong Joon-ho is who did Parasite. Uh-huh. Top Gun 3 it might be happening.
No, I don't think that needs to happen.
We're not here to debate it. I was just telling you. And then we got a release date for God of War Ragnarok. Yeah.
Yes, please.
Please
give it to me.
And I didn't write it in here, but since you expressed interest yesterday, I also want to mention that we got a trailer for a new movie called Amsterdam that looks pretty good. We both were like, oh, I think I want to see that movie.
Welcome back to Gas or Pass. Gas.
We just won't talk about the fact that David O. Russell is probably an abuser. But
what?
The director is apparently not cool.
Oh, word?
Yeah, but if he makes bangers, you can try and separate the art from the man, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're ready
like
to
Michael
talk
Jackson.
Yeah.
No.
Nope. Nope.
There's certain things that you cannot look past. Allegedly. I don't think he was convicted for any of them.
But you know what he was convicted. You know what he was convicted for?
Making sick-ass music.
Bangers. Guilty.
Yeah, guilty.
Oh, man. You want to talk about news?
Yeah, lay it on me.
All right, so, like I said, Taron Egerton, he talked to the New York Times because he's got an Apple TV Plus series coming out called something. I didn't write it down because I wasn't that interested. But I was interested in what he had to say about Marvel.
Yeah, lay it on me.
So they asked him, because there's been, like, this fan casting since, like, early 2019. Or I guess end of 2019 when it was kind of announced that the mutants were going to be coming to the MCU in some form.
Sure.
So fan castings have been like, let's get Taron Egerton as like the new young Wolverine, maybe. You know, he's kind of short. He could go scruffy. You know, he could whatever, right?
I saw, and I'm not sure how true it is because I saw it on the internet. But word on the street, Hugh Jackman tweeted saying that I think he's making like an appearance.
Word on the street is Hugh Jackman hung like a fucking pony.
Yeah, he's hanging.
He's hacking and slacking and thwacking. No, so dead ass though, as the kids be saying. Yeah. So they asked him, what's the story with you and Marvel? And he said that he has met with them, including Kevin Feige and several other of the higher ups at Marvel. He didn't disclose what exactly they spoke about, but they did, kind of pry and ask him, well, everybody wants you to be Wolverine. What's And he basically said something to the effect of, I'd be excited, but I'd be apprehensive as well. I say to the effect of, it's a quote. He said, I'd be excited, but I'd be apprehensive as well because Hugh is so associated with that role that I'd wonder if it'd be very difficult for someone else to do it. Adding, but hopefully if it does come around, they'll give me a shot. So the first time that he kind of talked about this back in 2019, he was really like dismissive, I guess. He was kind of like, oh yeah, okay. I haven't heard anything, nothing like that on my plate, right? But now that they're asking about it after he's met with them, he's kind of like, oh, maybe they'll give me a shot at it.
Yeah,
maybe makes me think that maybe it's more likely. That might have been one of the things they discussed.
I mean,
but I also,
hopefully.
I wonder if maybe, because apparently there were quite a few people that they'd kind of, like characters, that they'd considered throwing in Doctor Strange. So I wonder if maybe with them having that version of Professor Xavier, they were like, what if they were going to cast him as Wolverine? And then they just didn't go forward, and that's what they'd met about, you know what I mean?
What if Professor Xavier had sick fucking rims?
Dude, did you see the fucking edit that somebody did?
Yeah. he's
fucking grinding.
Yeah.
Grinding the rail in his fucking hover chair.
Yeah.
And then he goes spinning out. I was like, it's classic. And it's actually a pretty decent edit. Yeah,
it's like not bad.
But yeah, so I think that'd be kind of cool. I don't know how close we are to like a full-on X-Men, right? Because I think that's a lot of characters to introduce. But maybe you start drip-feeding individual mutants, and then you kind of go, oh, by the way, they all make mention of like the mansion or the school or whatever, right? And then eventually you show us that, right?
Yeah. Which would be cool. I agree. I think that'd be interesting because I do like the mutants, and then hopefully Deadpool could make an appearance. But I don't know.
Well, I mean, Deadpool 3 is in the MCU, so
it's just him, like hardcore, just getting it on.
Well, you figure the first Deadpool, there's like the sex montage at the beginning.
Yep. It's going to be that, except it's going to be Deadpool Korg. And then Korg. Yeah. Took the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah. Just bumping boulders.
Or, was it Meek?
Meek, yeah, the little like crab guy.
Yeah.
All right. Multiple sources, including Variety, Deadline. Now, this news bit actually has quite a personal connection to me and inadvertently you. Okay. So stick with me. We're going to accidentally. I say accidentally. We're going to inadvertently call ourselves out.
I'm sticking like 3-week-old cheese on a window.
Ew, I was going to say sticking like a nutsack on a sweaty day,
That's sticky.
That's sticking. That is sticking. No, so multiple sources, including Variety, Deadline, and The Hollywood Reporter, are saying that Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio will appear in the Echo series on Disney+, reprising their roles as Daredevil and Kingpin, respectively, right? Now, reportedly, Matt Murdock will be looking for, quote, an ally, and here's the connection to us, okay? According to the Weekly Planet podcast's Hot Scoop or Shot of Poop segment, okay? That ally is none other than Kristen Ritter as Jessica Jones. Now, I say that's a personal connection. The Weekly Planet podcast is actually the podcast that inspired me to go, you know what, I could probably do that, right? And I would like to take up arms. Oh my god. Siri is listening. Did you hear that?
No.
Oh, okay. My phone didn't pick it up. Or my
no, like I heard it, but I didn't hear what it was saying.
It started to play the Weekly Planet podcast.
Oh god.
No. The Weekly Planet podcast. I would like to take up arms for them because they have a segment, semi-recurring, called the Hot Scoop or Shot of Poop segment, where the premise is they get a hot scoop, and if it's true, cool. If it's not true, one of the hosts has to do a shot of poop, is like the joke, right?
Okay.
Well, they've actually had some pretty reliable stuff in the past. Like, they were correct that in Thor Ragnarok, you would see like Matt Damon and I can't think of his name, the other Chad Hemsworth, whatever his name is, right?
Mm-hmm.
As Thor and Loki, and like they were able to tell us what the scene looked like, right, from their source.
Yeah.
And apparently, that similar source is who's telling them that Kristen Ritter will be Jessica Jones, and that's who Charlie Cox is looking for. But they also have the source for telling them that they have some limited plot details, such as the fact that Wilson Fisk will be running for mayor and wearing an eye patch after being shot in the face by Echo at the end of Hawkeye. And the source was also able to state that Fisk would appear in 4 episodes and Murdoch would be in 3, with the series running presumably 6 episodes. So they'll play a pretty major part, it sounds like.
Good. Then they need to continue the spinoff with Daredevil.
Right, which is probably the idea, right? That, here's how we kind of reintroduce them, within this context. But no, I did mention that I wanted to take up arms. They expressly state, the Weekly Planet podcast does,
yes,
that their Hot Scoop or Shot of Poop segment is allowed to be credited by other publications, right? Mm-hmm. Like the Hollywood Reporter, Deadline, Variety, right? Hollywood Reporter is the only one that quoted the Weekly Planet podcast. And the caveat that they put on it is, you have to say that it was from the Hot Scoop or Shot of Poop segment. You can't just say it was from the Weekly Planet podcast. Hollywood Reporter did not do that.
Wow.
So, but I made sure to do it.
So wait, what are they going to do?
Probably nothing. It's just a bit,
Funny, you mentioned the Hollywood Reporter, because I saw something the other day. Let me pull it back up.
Yeah.
There it is. Yeah,
but no, if you go listen to the Weekly Planet podcast, which, I mean, take it or leave it, right? It is actually a good podcast. I'm not trying to plug them, but it's basically us, but more Australian and more seasoned.
Right here on Hollywood Reporter.
Mm-hmm.
It does indeed say you can. It looks like here it's at www.hollywoodreporter.com/TV/news. And it says Simply Whelmed podcast hitting #1 charts. So better than the other podcast that you mentioned. But I mean, I was just thinking about that side. Yeah, and I just pulled it up right there.
I definitely thought you were building up to like a BOFA or a Sugma.
No. I'm just spitting facts here. So
just straight.
All facts, no printer.
Straight facts, yeah. Well, bingo right there. But no, so if that's true, which I think there's enough detail there that I think it sounds, it's not like a vague statement. It's like, Fisk is going to be in 4 episodes. Murdoch will be in 3. He's Fisk is running for mayor, going to be wearing an eye patch. It's very specific details.
Mm-hmm.
That makes me go, yeah, that's probably accurate.
Yeah.
So that's kind of dope. I'm craving a little bit more interconnectivity.
Yes.
In Marvel right now, which I think we'll get to. But, so I like the sounds of that. And like you said, they can run that into the Daredevil series, or if they give him a movie. Well, we talked about that he's going to get a series, but if he ends up in the movies as well, that'd be kind of nice to see that continuity. Noise! And then that gives us Jessica Jones coming back, which I enjoyed, especially her first season, I think was really strong. But I say bring all of them back except for Iron Fist.
Yeah.
Just don't mention him. He didn't exist.
Who?
Huh?
Huh? Who?
Yeah,
I don't know. Iron Fist, more like shut the fuck up.
Iron Fist, more like fuck off, loser. Julius Ona, director of the Cloverfield Paradox and a film called Luce, or maybe Luce. It's Luce. Has been set to direct Captain America 4, starring Anthony Mackie in the title role. Obviously, following the events of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Which was about Bucky Barnes and Sam Wilson trying to figure out who's going to be, what's the world look like with not having Steve Rogers there as Captain America, right? And
they called me and asked if I wanted to be in that, but I said no because I'm doing the podcast.
You said I'm busy.
Yeah, it's like sorry, I'm booked. Like
lose my number.
Yeah, don't get a hold of me anymore.
Like don't contact me anymore. I'll have my lawyers get in touch with yours. So no, this movie is likely to show us like Sam kind of come into his own as he really accepts the Captain America title. And there's no official title or release date known yet, but with Marvel returning to Comic-Con later this month, actually, I think we're probably likely to get some of that info.
That's right.
And get a better idea of what that movie's going to be about or like. Because also we don't know anything other than the fact that it's a Captain America movie, and Sam Wilson is Captain America now. And beyond
That's
that,
right.
there's really nothing known. Did you get to finish that one, Captain America or Falcon Winter Soldier?
Oh yeah.
I thought so, but I didn't want to.
The only one I did not finish was Hawkeye, and you just spoiled it.
I mean, I had already spoiled it for you.
Not Wilson Fisk getting shot in the eye.
Mm.
Yeah, that I didn't know about.
I think I did in the episode where we had to re-record at like 6 a.m., which is probably why you don't remember, because it was like 6:30 in the morning.
Yeah. I'm not going to disagree with you there.
Yeah. Let's see here. Moving on along here. So
Yeah,
that's actually that's it for Marvel as far as the news goes. Because now we're going to talk about Bong Joon-ho casting Steven Yeun alongside Robert Pattinson for his upcoming sci-fi thriller. Yeah. And so Warner Brothers is producing the movie, which is untitled right now, but it's an adaptation of a book called Mickey 7, and it's kind of weirdly. that was me. Yeah.
That was you.
I wasn't really ready to talk about it, but yeah. So Mickey 7 is all one word, just like it almost looks like somebody's password. You know what I mean? But the story follows an employee called an Expendable on a human expedition to colonize an ice planet named Nilfheim. And so the Expendable refuses to allow his clone replacement named Mickey 8 to take his place. And that's really the rough plot of the book, right? Mm-hmm. And at this point, we don't really know how close the source material Bong Joon-ho is going to stick. But we do know that it's got a pretty stacked cast. I was reading up on it, and it's got Mark Ruffalo, obviously, Hulk and all that good stuff. Toni Collette, from Hereditary, oh shit. And then, and she's also freaking hilarious in Knives Out. She's the sister-in-law who's got. Basically, she's making fun of Goop by Gwyneth Paltrow. Mm-hmm. And then Naomi Ackie, who was Janna, the ex-stormtrooper from episode 9, who rides the horse beast. Mm-hmm. And so that's a pretty decent cast to then add Steven Yeun, who's been on a streak.
Solid names.
Yeah,
Steven Yeun, he's been killing it lately. Invincible.
He was an Invincible.
He's going to be in Nope.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think. Oh my god, I just lost the name. I want to say it's Nori, but I don't think that's it. He was actually nominated for an Oscar. Let me Steven Yeun Oscar nomination. Let's see this shit right here. What was that fucking movie called right here? Let me see.
Yeah, what was it called?
Oh, you better. Those dogs! I swear to God, Minari is what it was called.
So it looks like your little helpers are there.
Yeah, I swear to God, I'll open the back gate and just forget about them.
Whoa.
No, I couldn't do that. I honestly, I would die for these animals. You know what I mean? Take me, not them. But yeah, so that's a pretty stacked cast, and I'm liking it. And like we were saying, you got Robert Pattinson, who's he does some weird shit, but it's always good. I think he's always good in it.
Lighthouse was gas to me.
Yeah,
that was very good movie.
Yeah, so I think I like the idea of them being kind of the leads, and like we said, Mark Ruffalo, bangers. I mean, he kind of gets stuck in thinking about him playing the Hulk, but he was in Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Yeah, that's my first thing is when I think about him.
He was in Zodiac. Mm-hmm. Oh, fucking Spotlight. So I mean, he's actually
he's a really good actor.
He's a really good actor, and same with Toni Collette. Mm-hmm. Really high tier actors, and obviously Bong Joon-ho was the first non. I think he was the first Asian director to win the Best Picture.
Okay.
Because Parasite was the first non-English speaking film to win the Best Picture. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think he's on a roll. So
keep it going, baby.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what that ends up being. And then let's see. Miles Teller talked to Entertainment Tonight and said that he and Tom Cruise have already had discussions about the possible future of the Top Gun franchise, following obviously the massive critical and mostly commercial success of Maverick. Where it's just, for some reason, just crushing numbers.
Yeah, no, I think if they make a third one, it'll quickly become a meme. Everyone's going to dog on it like they did Morbius, and then it's going to be forgotten.
I don't think so.
Dude, I don't know. If I know anything, and I don't know a lot.
That's true.
I know that when memes die, they die hard, right? Morbius, it had a good meme, but it's starting to die, and it's going to die hard.
It's not starting to die. It just doesn't exist anymore.
Exactly. What is Morbius? I don't know. There's a movie called Morbius.
What are you? What? What is?
Like I don't know what that is.
Morbius?
Is that Morbius? I don't know. See, exactly. That's my point.
I'm trying to see how this connects to Maverick. Because also, Morbius was bad off rip. Maverick was a banger.
Right. Maverick was really good, but I feel like, man, if they're just going for another one, it's just not going to be good.
Dude, that fucking video of DJ Khaled playing the fucking guitar.
Yeah, it was just god awful.
It's like a 4-year-old just bang, 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 bang. Oh man,
we don't music.
No, so he whoops steady. Miles Teller expressed his openness and kind of excitement about the idea, but he did reaffirm that the decision would obviously ultimately end up being Tom Cruise's, who was apparently initially hesitant to even go forward with Maverick. And so the quote from Teller was like, "That would be great and all, but it's all up to TC. It's all up to Tom." I like the fact that Miles Teller is at a spot where he can call Tom Cruise TC.
Yeah, it's all up to TC. You know?
TC. Yeah, you know me.
Yeah, you know me.
And then, obviously, lastly, the one that I wanted to close off on here, God of War Ragnarok, hit us with a very brief but action-packed CG trailer that ended with a glimpse of Fenrir, the fucking horse, or the wolf, I mean, who, without getting into details, is also a son of Loki somehow. But in Norse mythology, apparently Fenrir is who ultimately does kill Odin during the events of Ragnarok, like the apocalypse.
That's right.
So maybe you get a little hint at what's going on there. But also the major bit was that we got an official release date at the end of November 9th, 2022.
Which is...
That's this fucking year.
I'm expecting it to be pushed out to Christmas. Maybe the New Year. Just the way the game's been coming out lately, I got a feeling it's going to be pushed out to either December or beginning of next year.
You shut your fucking mouth.
No, I'm just being real.
Shut your whore mouth. Sorry.
That's what I do around here is I keep it real. I don't lie.
Oh man. I don't know how long we've been recording, but I did not start my timer. 25 minutes ago. So we'll be alright.
Bingo.
Alrighty, baby girl. You want to talk about Thor Love and Thunder?
Well, I want to talk about my experience first.
Oh yeah, let's get the fucking pity party out of the way here.
So,
everybody get your fucking tissues ready.
That's right. The
tearjerker.
So, I pull up, right? And I got in and I just got off work and I'm a white collar, like I wear a button up. So I walk in and a kid comes up to me right off the rip.
You gotta set the stage. Were you alone?
Yeah, but that's not relevant.
Oh yeah, it is.
Anyways, some kid comes up to me and goes, "Are you here to see the Minion movie?" Because I was all dressed up, and I was like, "No,
fuck
I'm
off,
not."
loser.
Yeah, basically, I was like, "No, I'm not." Like, see ya. And then
he just pulls a banana out of his ass and starts reeing at you.
So no, but I go up to the counter and I'm like, I'm not too hungry, so let me just get my peanut M&Ms and let me get a large drink. And this man pulls out just I feel like they get bigger every time I see him.
Well, no, you said he asked if you wanted the extra large.
Oh yeah, he was like, yeah, like for extra 38 cents, do you want an extra large? And I was like, does the Pope shit in his hat? Yeah, like run it, like yeah. So he hands this to me, and I'm like, Christ, this is popcorn. Like, he did not mean to give this to me.
He's making rules up.
Right, and so I go
extra
take
large
it.
Doesn't exist.
I fill it a quarter of the way with ice, and then I fill the rest with Diet Coke. Take my peanut M&Ms, and I walk to the theater. I sit down.
Does it even have lids? Like, do they have a lid that fits it?
They had a lid that fit.
So
I made sure to, rip mine up before I threw it away, so no seagulls get caught in it. Shit, dude, that thing was huge. Fucking turtles are gonna think they're jellyfish swimming in the ocean.
Just a sea turtle fucking gets tangled up in it.
Yeah. But so, I'm watching everything. The second those trailer hits, I just start down half this thing. Put it down and I'm just and this movie's like a 2-hour movie and halfway through, so an hour in, I mean, I am dripping in sweat. I'm not joking. I am head to toe sweating, legs crossed, holding my dick, just I'm not gonna make it. And so I'm like, you know what? I have to finish this because I really don't want to miss anything in this.
Also, didn't you say you were the center of the row?
I was in the center of the row.
So right? Yeah, you're not getting out.
Right. And then the guy next to me leans over and goes, "Are you okay, man?" And I straight up was like, "Don't talk to me." And, like, just because I'll break concentration and then I'll actually piss myself. So he kind of leans back and I'm finishing this and I push it through. I made it, right? And I know that there was one, as all Marvel movies are, there's that after credit scene.
Like a mid-credit, yeah.
Yeah. So I only thought that there was one. So I watched the first one.
Rookie
and I'm
mistake.
like, oh, yeah, okay, thank God. So I start to get up and that same guy leans in and he's just trying to be a nice guy, right? But fuck him.
Yeah.
And he goes, hey,
I
I'm
hope
not
he's
sure if
listening.
you're...
Fuck you.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not sure if you're a big fan of Marvel, but I did hear that there was a second scene, or end credit scene. And I just turn around with the biggest fucking scowl on my face.
Like,
and just looking at him. I'm sitting back in my seat muttering under my breath, goddamn motherfucker, you fucking piece of shit. And so I fucking finished this credit, or the scene, and then, like I said, I was in the middle of the row. I was the first one out. I shoulder checked someone, like walking out. I was like, "Move, bitch!" Push him out of the way, and I'm beelining it down these stairs. But I paid 38 extra cents for that drink, so I'm finishing it before I leave that theater.
Well, see, if you had strategized, you could have finished the drink and then just pissed in it while you sat there.
Now, I thought about it, but it was a pretty cramped theater. But no, see, that's not even it. I beeline, right? I'm booking it to the restroom.
The little boys' room.
The little boys' room, and unbeknownst to me, there's two guys mopping the floor right in front of it. And I was like, no way. And so I walk up and I'm like, hey, boss, are these things open? And he goes, yeah, just be careful. I mopped, and I started I started running, and I damn near ate shit. I slipped, and thankfully caught myself. Then I went up to the first urinal I saw, and it was one of those ones that were real short for the kids.
Like the kids' urinal, yeah?
Yeah, and I didn't even care. Like, I just dropped trowel and fucking slapped my hand on the wall, and, unintentionally, I moaned. And I was just oh. I put both hands up on the wall, and I'm just head back, and I'm just, oh.
You're basically 360 no-scoping. Hands off. Whatever happens, happens.
I'm crying.
Yeah. You should have gone. You should have gone like full kindergarten and just taken your pants and underwear all the way down to the ankles.
Just all the way down. It was so slippery; they would have gotten wet.
Just all the way to the ankles. Just a hairy ass out. Oh boy.
Yeah. But I did,
Thank
dude.
God.
That was a rough go, man. I don't think I can. I'm gonna go back in there for the next movie, and because typically, whenever
a fucking fly just flew at my face and scared the fuck out of me. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Startled me.
But yeah, that was my experience.
There you go. Well, I guess get good. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Also, I'm a little peeved because we saw the movie my wife and I saw the movie literally less than 48 hours prior to your viewing, and we did not get offered the extra large. So this is horseshit.
Yeah.
At the same theater, mind you.
Yeah, because we typically go. And what I was gonna say is, next time, we go in, we're gonna go see our next movie and shit like that. Fucking, if he asks for that 38 cent, I'm gonna decline. I'm gonna say I learned my lesson.
I'll take it. When we go to see Nope, that extra large and I are gonna go toe to toe.
That's right.
I'll take it on. Get man versus food in here.
Man versus food.
You know how a lot of times there's the caveat that you have to not vomit for the 30 minutes after you finish or whatever. It's just you can't piss for 30 minutes after you drank it all.
Dude, I drank half of it, and I was sweaty. It was visible. I had sweat.
You figure
my arms
you were
on my
probably
back.
you were probably.
I was rocking. I was rocking.
That's why the dude's like, "He's solid."
I was like, "Don't talk to me."
Yeah, fuck off.
Dude,
please.
Yeah, I was not good. I was not okay.
You were not Cash Money.
Nuh-uh.
So, let's talk about the reception of Thor. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, let's. Huh?
Do we want to rate it first, or?
No, we've done this before, guy.
Whoa.
You just relax.
All right.
It'll be all right. Did you drink another extra large? Are you getting antsy?
Don't talk to me.
Shut the fuck up. No, so Rotten Tomatoes critic score, they got a 68% on that boy. So the critics were kind of medium on it.
Mm-hmm.
Audience of 81. So okay,
Mm-hmm.
that's higher up. IMDb, which is typically an audience score, 7 out of 10. And then I could not get fucking Metacritic to load, so I guess they just don't get a fucking look in here.
Fuck you.
So, yeah, you know what, Metacritic?
Not you, Metacritic.
Yeah. What is it from Reno 911? Metacritic, you are a blister on my taint.
But not just a blister, an ingrown hair.
An ingrown hair. So let's see. Performance-wise, domestic box office, big old fucking weekend here. $143 million.
Yeah, I mean, when I got my tickets, I was looking for, because I went yesterday.
Yeah, Sunday.
And I looked for Sunday and Monday. Or no, both of them were on Sunday, but just two different times. It was like 7:30 and then 6:30. And 7:30 was sold out.
Yeah.
And then 6:30, there was like 3 seats available. But thankfully, I got a pretty good seat. Like, it was pretty in the middle.
Seeing if Metacritic is
don't even. Here. Yeah, don't even. They had their chance.
You know what? They blew it.
Yeah.
They blew it! All right, so let's see here. Let me get back to my notes. Yeah, fuck them. So yeah, worldwide weekend of $303 million.
Whoa,
that's big. Budget $250. That's also massive.
Yeah,
that's one of the most expensive Marvel movies ever made.
Jesus Christ. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of
quite a bit of special effects.
Sense.
I think a large part of that also is because I believe this movie was made like entirely during COVID.
Oh.
So, I mean, there's probably extra cost of production to just take the precautions and things like that.
Mm.
Which don't let me forget, I didn't make the note, but I do want to talk about what you thought of some of the visuals, because this is the first Marvel movie to use like a large portion of their like backdrops were not CGI, or were not green screen, but were the volume like they use on The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
So yeah, don't really forget to ask you your thoughts on that when we get into the nitty gritty.
Into the nitty gritty.
So let's see. We had director / writer Taika Waititi, who was also Korg, right?
Yes.
Hey man.
Hey, man.
Thor. Hey man.
He called me a dickhead again.
Yeah.
New Master 69.
Yeah, I love in the first one, or in Ragnarok, and he just talks about that he got thrown in there because he tried to start a rebellion but didn't print enough pamphlets, so no one showed.
Yeah, no one showed.
But yeah, so Thor Odinson obviously being played by Chris Hemsworth again. Jane Foster comes back with Natalie Portman playing her.
Mm-hmm.
We got Gore the God Butcher, played by Christian Bale. Mm-hmm. And then Valkyrie comes back as Tessa Thompson.
Yeah, you do?
Tessa Thompson comes back as Valkyrie, I mean. You got a synopsis for me?
Yeah, absolutely. So, actually,
You got it.
And so the synopsis, as I quote it, is Thor, Love and Thunder, follows Thor as he attempts to find inner peace, but must return to action and recruit Valkyrie, Korg, and Jane Foster to stop Gore the God Butcher from eliminating all of the gods.
Yes. I was thinking
the same thing. Had it fucking pulled up the entire time.
Yeah, you did. I was thinking the same thing. Well, no. That was straight off the top of your head.
Yeah, no, that was just from my noggin.
That was, straight from the dome. If I had to, just from my soul, I would say that Thor enlists the help of Valkyrie, Korg, and ex-girlfriend Jane Foster to fight Gore the God Butcher, who intends to make the gods extinct. So we were basically on the same wavelength.
Yep. I mean, listen, we're so connected. We basically have telepathy.
Yeah, I've said it once, I'll say it again. We're like two nuts in a ball sack. Like,
yeah, you think it, we've done it.
No, that's crazy.
What you mean by that?
No. You know. Who said that?
You know what you mean by that.
Why, did someone say something?
Who's spreading rumors?
It's just my wife. She's just trolling the forums. Yeah, low key, I heard they fucked. Like, she's Yoko Onoing us. I've decided that for me, I do a lot of things for me because I'm selfish. That this segment or this section will be called Plot Thoughts. Okay,
Plot Thoughts.
Yeah. So I kind of liked the idea how straight up off the top it just kind of showed us how smug the gods can be.
Yeah,
like very, I guess, godly. You know, better than thou, right?
Mm-hmm.
especially without getting into spoiler territory, the very beginning of the movie is exemplary of that.
Yes. Yeah, like right off the rip.
Like straight before you even get the
it is the first
cold
scene.
open. Yeah,
it is the opening scene.
Let's see.
It was very good for a cold open.
Oh yeah, I was like, ooh. Let's see. The idea of Thor being like an essentially immortal being who just doesn't know who he is kind of interesting. I think the idea of like, man, I been around for 1,500 years and I'm lost.
Yeah.
Because also, if you consider the length of his lifespan, and then the fact that okay, so within like basically 10 years of his 1,500, he's lost literally everybody.
I was gonna say like
and everything.
Yeah, he's going through it right now. So I mean, everything.
Like, it's basically a bad weekend.
Well, yeah, but like everything that you once thought you were, yeah, you're not.
It's gone. It's just gone.
Yeah, it's gone. Poof.
And you figure, let's see here. I ain't got the math here, but you tell me some of your thoughts here, boy. Boy.
Yeah. So without getting into too much spoilers, seeing Gore, seeing the reappearance of Jane. I will say, Jane Foster in this movie, hot, badass.
Yeah.
Like dope as fuck.
Not hot sexual, hot like goddamn that's hot.
Yeah, like that's dope. Like that's cool.
Yeah. So hold on, I got the math here.
Oh, yep, big math.
Like, yeah, big boom. That's my head thumping right now. Literally 0.5% of this man's life was 8 years, right? Which is about what he guesstimates, or what he says it's been since they broke up.
Mm-hmm.
Which we'll call that roughly, if we call it 9 years, like the start of, when his wife, or when his mom dies, right?
Mm-hmm.
So basically, within like 0.5% of your life, literally everything dies.
My world is crumbling around me.
I mean, literally, like, it's like a bad weekend. I wasn't joking.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I guess he would be a little disheveled, we'll say.
Right. Who wouldn't be?
Yeah. But no, I agree. I thought Jane Foster as the Mighty Thor,
yeah,
boom,
dope.
Really good shit.
I want to see more.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought... Alright, you gonna make it?
Yeah, I'm just readjusting in my seat. I'm getting comfy.
You just start snoring. Just don't get so comfy that you just start nodding to what I'm saying.
I can't promise anything. Proceed.
Where it just turns into very one-sided because you're going,
Mm-hmm.
And then just...
What is this, episode 1?
Yeah, right. No, it's episode 18.
That's right, 19.
No, I was saying that's what it was last week for you. Let's see. The movie did have some odd pacing at times, I think, where I was like, it was kind of slow in sections, and then at the end, I was like, I think it maybe have needed a little bit more runtime, which is odd for a movie that did have slow spots in it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I will say, like, I'll just come out and say it.
Yeah.
I thought there were too many jokes in there.
Yeah. I think it was good as a comedy.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. And we'll dig into more of it later, but there've been a couple scenes where it was a really good scene, and then I felt like it got a little ruined because they tried to put comedy in it. And I was like, you didn't need it. Like, you had it.
Yep. Yeah, and so speaking of like jokes and stuff it's not necessarily a joke, but like, I don't know if you want to call it a plot beat or a gimmick or whatever, that I can't really talk about without getting into.
You just go, speaking of jokes, welcome back to Chris's Cryptid Corner. Wait, what?
Huh? Yeah, take the stage there, funny man. No. You get what you fucking deserve! No. There's a recurring plot beat that I can't...
In the white room with black curtains by the station.
Alright, steady. I can't really talk about what the plot beat is because it's spoilery, but I'll address it first. Like, I made it my first note in spoilers because it really annoys the piss out of me. So let's see. I didn't think it was connected to the universe at large enough.
Yeah, I concur.
Like, I think it was a pretty decent standalone movie, but at this point in like the Marvel universe, it feels weird to backpedal to nothing being connected. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like I feel like, well, like in Doctor Strange, how it was connected to WandaVision in a sense. Like I like that.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, I feel like everything's so intertwined now. It's hard to have a standalone.
Yeah, which I think a lot of this phase so far has been.
Pass.
All right, characters, chemistry. You got any more plot thoughts, baby girl?
Valkyrie. Valkyrie and Thor. Like, so Valkyrie obviously is king of Asgard. Killing it.
Yeah.
Right. And like, soon as Thor, because Thor has been just fucking saving the universe, and then kind of hangs out with the Guardians because that's where it's left off at Endgame.
After Endgame, yeah. So they're going to be the Asgardians of the galaxy.
Right. Thor comes back and sees Valkyrie, and like, it felt good, like seeing them connect again in the way that they did, because it wasn't awkward. It wasn't like where the hell have you been? It was just like that felt right. That felt like what it should have been. So I really did like that.
History.
Yeah.
And obviously they have a. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I really liked the way that it flowed and just picked right back up, and it was good.
Yeah,
I truly did enjoy it. I also do just like Valkyrie's character.
I do too. I do like talking about Valkyrie and Thor. The idea that they both have a pretty narrow like shared ground beneath them, in that they've both led Asgard, right?
Yeah,
and
they
obviously
both have lost everything.
Yeah, exactly. And to the extent of Thor couldn't do it anymore, so he didn't think he was fit for it, and it wasn't what he was meant to do, so he gave it to her. Without spoiling too much, I think that this movie does vastly more chemistry building, I suppose, for Thor and Jane's story than the first two Thor films combined.
Correct.
Even retroactively, where there's some, it goes back and shows us some stuff that wasn't included originally, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah.
Weird. That makes sense.
I actually thought that Gore's motivations were pretty justifiable.
I agree.
And I felt that Christian Bale did a good job. I don't know if he got enough screen time.
Yeah. We need to hurry up and hit spoilers.
All right.
Like, I'm getting antsy. Don't fucking talk to me.
I like seeing Thor interact with Zeus, because, it's the idea of, okay, here's other gods that we haven't
such
really...
a fucking fangirl.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Thor's like, that's his hero,
Yeah.
Which I thought it was kind of funny to see. Oh my god, I just lost his name. Who's the actor? Gladiator.
It's the same
He's
guy.
Australian. Jesus. Gladiator actor. Let's see. Is Russell Crowe. I didn't even have
Russell Crowe. Yep, Russell Crowe.
Before the results even came up, I was like, it's Russell Crowe.
Yep, that's Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
That's why
you were like,
you literally took it right out of my mouth. Yep, like that. We basically said at the same time.
Same time, yeah. I go back and edit like a massive gap. So it's just, I go, Russell Crowe, and then like 9 minutes go by of quiet, and you just go, Russell Crowe. It's Russell Crowe. Yeah. No, I thought he was funny. And I liked, without trying to spoil too much, I liked that he was a comedic character, but there was also some legitimacy to him.
Yeah.
The things that were funny about him were also serious character flaws or notes, I suppose. Let's see here. The last thing I say here, which you kind of already touched on, I worry about the amount of comedy in it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it was a little too silly, even though it remained entertaining. Like, it wasn't silly enough where I was like, okay, I wasn't bored with it. I had fun watching it.
Right.
I just felt that the inclusion of like a god serial killer out for revenge would kind of lead the movie towards a darker tone, which it does dip into at times.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt it could have gone a little bit further, honestly. And I do think that kind of leads back to my gripe about the runtime not being long enough, I think. Where either they needed to spend less time on some things and more time on others, or give us a little bit, like, it's like one of the shortest Marvel movies out of the last, like, 7 movies. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Which
coming in
also,
under 2 hours.
Well, I guess we'll talk about it in spoilers.
Yeah, that was the last thing I had. So, what do you think? Yeah. Overwhelming, simply whelming, underwhelming? You want to tell us what it means?
Yeah, so you can be overwhelmed, which is good. You were overwhelmed with the film. You can be underwhelmed, which means you weren't as satisfied with the film, or you could be simply whelmed, and it was all right.
Yeah. basically high, medium, or it's a large, a medium, or a small.
Yep.
What do you think? I'll let you go first.
I'm gonna come out. When I say this, I did enjoy the movie, but I was underwhelmed.
I was simply whelmed.
I think I got my hopes up a little too high, and I don't think my expectations were unreasonable, which I'll dig into later.
Okay. I don't know. I think we might have different ideas of what it means to be underwhelmed.
Like, I was let down. Like, my expectations weren't met.
Yeah. My gripe that I was talking about, that I said I'd had to talk about in spoilers. There are way too many fake out deaths.
Yeah.
Because there's Korg in Omnipotent City, Valkyrie on in the Shadow Realm, and then the Asgardian kids, which obviously weren't really gonna die, but it was like they fucking did it again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like, dude, fucking.
And then Zeus.
Zeus ends up being one too. And so yeah, it's like, dude, just fucking. They legitimately could have killed Korg there,
which it would have been sad, but it would have been like a good motivator for Thor. Yeah. And as much as I love Korg, he's not essential to the plot.
Right. He would have been like a good. I don't want to say a freebie. I think he's a fan favorite enough that it would still be like, oh no, Korg's gone, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then, like you said, it's not Thor dying, right?
Right.
And then it would have been a nice like bow tie of, which it did kind of do it for a moment of going, hey, here's the gods directly affecting Thor as another god.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's that, now he kind of gets to feel what it's like to be at the will of the gods. You know? I did think that it was a really strong cold open showing Gore and his daughter suffering.
Yeah. Just they were walking down in the wastelands.
Desert. Yeah. And that was sad as fuck. Like, I was like, ooh, this started off heavy.
Yeah.
And like seeing him just cuddle her grave and cry.
Oh my
God.
God.
Jesus.
Yeah, no, Christian Bale played a good Gore. I was unsatisfied with Gore's character. Not because Christian Bale, because he played you know what I'm trying to say.
I mean, this is the time to say it. You don't have to shrug around it.
I was unsatisfied with Gore because
he didn't have tentacles on his head.
No, like, I moved past that. Like, sure, yeah, it fucking sucked. I think the one in the comic looked killer, and they had a lot of fucking potential, especially since Disney's been doing a bunch of shit with Mandalorian, doing a whole bunch of practical stuff, and Disney has too much fucking money to do, then they know what to do with. So they could have made something happen, and they had a great opportunity, but no, they wanted to be like, it would have looked like fucking Voldemort. Well, put some extra fucking money. Anyway, I'm done. I'm getting boiled.
You gotta chill out.
Yeah, don't fucking talk to me. No, but in the comics, and it feels like all around, Gore fucking rocked Thor. Like, he beat the shit out of him, and I feel like in the movie that wasn't the case.
Yeah,
he ran away. He got away.
Yeah, I never really felt like Thor was in that much
serious danger. Yeah,
especially because the lead up is like, here's all these gods that he's already killed, right?
Right. Yeah, and it's just
it's like he's just running through them. And so it's like, oh shit, like Thor better watch his ass. And then Thor does pretty fine against him. Yeah.
Which I'm not gonna lie, reading the comics got me really amped for Gore. And I think that's why I'm underwhelmed, is because I was really let down.
Leads to another issue of they killed Gore at the end.
Yeah.
And like, Marvel fucking loves to do that. Just give us a villain with a good actor and, a good characterization. And instead of giving them time to grow as a character and give us more, now we learned some more about him or whatever, especially having someone like Gore who has a pretty sympathetic motivation.
Yeah.
They fucking kill him and now we don't get to see anything else from him.
Mm-hmm.
You figure the only villain that really stuck around is Loki. And now he's got his own show.
I'll also say Thanos.
Thanos had 2 movies.
Well, no, but I mean, you saw him snippets here and there, which was pretty cool. Yeah. But no, I'd say Loki's
to seriously give us a character arc. I mean, Thanos got basically a movie. I mean, he didn't. Most of his character arc was in Infinity War, not in Endgame.
It's true.
I don't know, man. I think they need to try and get us some villains that stick around and compile. I mean, you figure in the comics, there's always villains popping back up, and now I've got to keep dealing with this guy.
I mean, yeah, and like
fucking Gore's back. God damn it.
Yeah. Like, what if instead of him dying, Gore, Thor comes up and rocks his shit, and then Gore is like, I gotta bounce. Like, I cannot, right now.
Or he imprisons him.
You're right. Yeah. There's just so much stuff he could have. Yeah.
Shows, he shows him some mercy. It's a god showing him mercy.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's that moral victory, right?
Yeah.
Of proving him wrong, that not all gods are that, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. The Necroblade, this was a little bit of a disappointment for me, but it was a long shot anyway. I was a little bummed that the Necroblade is never connected to Null or the symbiotes at all.
Yeah.
Which, like I said, was a long shot, but I didn't think it was that long because at the end of No Way Home, like, the symbiote is in the MCU, right?
Yeah, so like it's not. Okay. That's not new news.
Yeah, now it's in the so I thought it was a good chance to slightly expand upon that, because even if they just name dropped the planet Null to the general audience, it's not gonna be like, oh, Venom. You know what I mean?
Right. I was just truly what got to me. We didn't see James Jameson. Like that's what I was hoping for.
Yeah, just give. You mean J. Jonah Jameson?
Or J. Jonah Jameson.
I was like, who the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, excuse me. There's too many J's in
Jesus H.
Spider-Man. But yeah, no,
get in here.
No, but yeah, Christian Bale. We're pushing aside the fact that he's kind of a cuck in real life. He played. I think he did play a good Gore. Even just being very humanoid, I wasn't upset about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I agree with you, man. Like he just had a lot of potential. I was really excited for him, which we were just talking about, like getting excited for a good villain.
Yeah.
And I was really pumping up for Gore, and we just didn't see a whole lot of him, and he got killed real quick.
Yeah.
Which makes me kind of sad.
And he had a good intimidation. Like, I mean, he was sinister.
Yeah.
Especially that scene with the fucking kids and the story time.
Yeah, and he pulls up that thing and then snaps its neck and goes, "Oh, but when I do it."
Yeah.
I was like,
and you're like,
fuck.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I thought that Jane Foster, so she does in fact have cancer, like in the Mighty Thor.
Yep.
Which wasn't in the promotional material. Which I would say, like, if you haven't seen the movie and you're on the fence about it, and like, I think some of the cancer stuff in this is really close to home for somebody that's going through it.
Yeah.
So like, it might be a pass for a little while on you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because some of it was like, whoa, it's
heavy.
All of a sudden, very heavy. And I thought those scenes, especially the scene like without bouncing, I'm gonna bounce around for just a moment. The scene between Thor and Jane when he takes her to the hospital and he has to that was a very human moment, I thought.
Yeah, I just felt like that ended too soon.
Yeah, we didn't get to see them. And again, there's some of that runtime maybe.
Yeah,
like that felt rushed.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Thor and the Guardians was a fun team up. And it makes me more excited for Guardians 3, because I think that is supposed to take place before Thor Love and Thunder.
Mm-hmm.
Which, honestly, I do wish we had a little bit more of them in the movie. But I think we even talked about when the trailers came out that it felt like they were probably only there at the beginning, and then like they do legitimately. Like, I was kind of right in that they ditch him, but they don't like ditch him. They're just like, we got to split up.
Yeah.
But it did also feel like they were trying to get rid of him.
Yeah, because the way that it seems is like everybody just fucking hates Thor. Like he's got such a big ego on him. Right.
Yeah.
And then he brings the goats in. I think that's what everyone was like, this is it. Like, we got to drop them.
This is the final straw. And I like the little joke there when Korg's trying to figure out the whistle that you call the goats with. And he asks Mantis to give it a try, and she just goes, ah!
Yeah.
It's like, no, that's not it.
I love Korg.
I love Mantis. She's funny.
I like Mantis and Drax's relationship, which you see a lot in Guardians 2.
Yeah. And then a bit more of it in Endgame, or Infinity War.
Yeah, and I want to see more of that, because it's nothing romantic, it's very platonic.
Yeah, it's like they're the odd couple of friendships.
Yeah, but they can just relate to each other a whole lot, and I think it's very cute and wholesome.
Yeah, and I think there is obviously the
like Korg and Dwayne.
Yeah.
Well,
I think
no,
there
it is.
Huh?
Is it romantic?
I would say so, yeah, because I mean they're making a child.
That's right, they are.
I think that there is the the opportunity for funny, right? The comedy there in that fucking Drax is he's so oblivious to anything, and then she's supposed to be an empath, you know?
Right.
Like she's so in tune with other people's emotions, and he is such a blank slate, you know? Let's see. Just seeing
Kick
New Asgard
and take ass.
and take ass. Seeing New Asgard as like a tourist hub made me think like, well, can you imagine just being a regular motherfucker living in the MCU?
Yeah, well, I mean, you see all those kids there, and like some of them are like of just a different
species or like race or whatever you want to, like, you know, a different planet, right?
Yeah. Which I thought was very interesting, and I liked how they just blended in, like, this is the norm. Which makes me think, like, there is probably that true aspect of like, literally an alien invasion happened. Thor is a god.
Yeah, he's an alien whose technology is so advanced that it's indistinguishable from magic.
Right, and, you know, Spider-Man straight up can shoot webs out of his hands and crawl on, walls and stuff like that. So it does make sense that, like...
His web doesn't come out of his hands, though.
Well, the Tobey Maguire one does, and he pulls up in the MCU, so it's fine.
Right. Yeah, but he was the oddball. They were all like, "Oh, fuck, that's coming out of you!"
Yeah, I did like that scene.
Like,
I'm Peter 3!
I like when they ask him straight up, like, does it come out anywhere else? And he's like, what? No.
Yeah, they are implying the butt.
Yeah, or his penis.
Oh, I thought the butt, because spiders, but... Yeah. Moving on.
Yeah, it's all about it. You know that. Did you ever did you see the Eternals?
No.
Jesus, it's not that good. I got to tell you, it's pretty.
That's what I hear. That's what I heard. It's mid.
But there is like a major world implication that has yet to come up, and it fucking pains me. So, like in the climax of that movie, basically the Earth is an egg for Celestials. Or like planets in general are celestial eggs, and the Earth was one of them. And a fucking Celestial starts to hatch out of the Earth, and they stop it. And there's a Celestial like now made of marble that is just sticking halfway out of the Earth, and it's massive.
Like how big we talk?
Like mountain. It's a new mountain range, basically. And it's just not come up. Like, that should be mentioned, that just fucking happened.
Yeah, it's not something you can just push under the rug.
No, but so that just adds, like, my thought of, like, goddamn, can you imagine just being, like, a cashier at a grocery store in the MCU? Like,
this is gonna get dark for a second.
Every other day. Like, shit just happens.
I was gonna say, what? Just... This is gonna get dark for a second.
Yeah, get in there.
What do you think the suicide rate is?
Right? Like
imagine
give up.
Literally, like imagine just somebody working at a gas station or something. Fucking, they hate life because you got a billionaire playboy philanthropist fucking zooming around, and then he dies, and then you get all these cool people and this big fucking tower, and you're making minimum wage, and then this just happens.
And an alien invasion could just happen, and your livelihood, the store you've worked really hard to buy and run, just gets demolished. And then Tony Stark's fucking goons roll in and go, "Yeah, here, we're gonna clean this up. Here's the money." You know, I mean, you figure that's what Adrian Toome's whole motivation is in Spider-Man.
Homecoming.
Yeah, Homecoming is like these motherfuckers just get to make the mess and then get paid to clean it up.
Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's just my thought of like when I saw that, I was like, God damn, can you imagine what just daily life is like? Gore comes to Asgard to kill Thor with shadow monsters, which I think the shadow monsters was their way around the symbiotes. Thor and Jane have a quick little flashback that I thought does a great deal of like retconning their relationship to feel more impactful.
Yeah.
And I thought it was funny how tonally and even the way it was filmed, it changed to be like a rom-com. Let's see. Sorry, I lost my note there. I thought it kind of explained I lost my note. I thought it explained the tonal shift that Thor kind of goes through between Dark World and Ragnarok, in that like his relationship with Jane taught him to be a little bit more goofy and have fun and things like that. You know what I mean? And so then it's like, okay, now it makes sense why he's kind of shifted into a comedic character, right? That's one of the things she taught him.
I will say something that fucking kills me, and it was a super like quick snippet, and then it moved on. But during
him in the hot dog costume.
No, that was funny though. During the downfall, Jane is complaining about I forget what it was, but just basically Thor not being there, something like that.
Yeah.
And then you hear Thor go, "Well, I gotta be up all night doing all these dishes," and Jane just
because it's two
fucking plates.
Yeah. And then also there's another quick blink and you miss it when they're having dinner and they're like both a bit distracted by their phones and all that or whatever. And he gets a phone call from Nick Fury and he shows it to her and it says Nick Furry.
Nick Furry.
Nick is just in his phone as Nick Furry.
Nick Furry.
Yeah. So, but no, I did. I like that brief. Like it just wraps it up. There we go. That's what went wrong with their relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Gort just takes all the kids from Asgard and dips. Thor, Jane, Valkyrie, they all head towards Omnipotent City, which is like a massive hub for all the gods in the universe. Just in the hopes of gathering an army of gods. Kind of like from your story, right?
Yeah.
Which I kind of liked the idea of seeing that. And it also, it did have a really fun joke for me, like a visual joke that it took me a moment and I went, oh, yeah. Where the Cronin god, so Korg's god, is sitting on an iron throne, like from Game of Thrones. And it's made of scissors. Because rock beats scissors.
Beats scissors, yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, yeah, I see you.
You cheeky little dog.
Yeah, you're a dog.
You're a dog.
You're a dog. Thor is surprised to realize how much of a prick Zeus really is. Like, it's like, oh, this guy. Like at first, he's like, all right, he's a little rough around the edge. And then it just keeps getting worse.
He has his reasons, he's got he's got something behind it.
And then he eventually like looks over at Jane. He's like, this guy's not cool. Like, because then he tells the kids later, like, don't meet your heroes.
Yeah, I guess that's what happens when you meet your heroes.
And the kids are like, huh? It's like he's their
Thor's there,
hero.
right?
Let's see. And Zeus straight up brings it to his attention that Gor's looking for Eternity, who is like an actual being in the Marvel Universe who grants the wish of the first person to meet Eternity, right?
Yeah.
And obviously, you don't want, like Valkyrie says, a homicidal god killer, or a genocidal god killer who's looking for Eternity. He gets one wish. I wonder what he's going to wish for,
Right. Wish all the gods were dead.
Yeah. And so, we gotta cut that shit right in the butt, And Thor fucking, like, in how it appears, he fucking kills Zeus. Like,
yeah, like takes his lightning bolt because right after he allegedly kills Korg, he gets all mad.
Picks up Thunderbolt, like supercharges it, and just yeets it right through his chest.
Yeah, hard, like clean cut.
Yeah, I like the just casual mention of just a god orgy.
Multiple times, like
more than one, and that they're going to be uninvited from Speak Out one more time.
You know what?
You're not invited to the orgy.
Yeah, you're not coming.
Yeah, you're out. Sorry, guy. You were going to come to the orgy, now you're not. It's like, whoa, just all these different gods just getting it on,
and some of them are fucking massive.
Yeah,
like how does that work?
I'm pretty sure when they crash out of there, I'm pretty sure there's 2 Celestials in there.
Yeah, there is 2 Celestials.
They kind of like peek out, like, oh, what the fuck was that all about?
Yeah, because they can't fit in there, so they're just sitting outside holding on.
Yeah, they're chilling, yeah.
And then you see that big old dragon.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, so Thor and crew, they just fuck shit up in Omnipotent City. And then, like I said, we get the fake Korg death. And then they deuce out. They use the goats to get out of there.
Mm-hmm.
I did like the Voldemort from, like, the Sorcerer's Stone, where just Korg gets broken down into just being a face.
Yeah.
And Valkyrie ties him to the back of her head with her hair.
Yeah, and he does the whistle.
Yeah, which was kind of cool.
Yeah, the whistle is pretty dope.
Yeah, and then the goats just roll up. And I like that they're just screaming goats, because why not?
Right.
Jane gets to open up to Thor about having having cancer. Because, it starts off with showing us Jane having cancer, right? And going through treatment. And we get to see Darcy for a minute. Dr. Darcy.
Yeah, I got a little crush on Dr. Darcy.
Yeah, because we haven't seen her since WandaVision. So it's kind of cool to see her again. And you find out that, like, Darcy's really the only one that she's told.
Yeah.
And she's not responding well to the stage. Like, her body isn't responding well.
She told...
and then she does tell the doctor,
the
Swedish doctor, because he's kind of trying to help her do research. Because she's basically trying to figure out if she can't cure her cancer, it seems like.
Mm-hmm.
And she's sending him, like, blood samples and stuff. And she ends up basically hearing a call from Mjolnir is how she sees it. And that's why she goes to... Yeah, so she goes to Asgard, and the hammer reassembles for her. And I think it's because you figure in that flashback, Thor straight up asks Mjolnir to protect her no matter what. Let's see. So yeah, she does. She opens up to him about having cancer, and it's kind of neat because we get to see him struggle with... He just came to terms with the fact that he might be willing and ready to try and love again, right?
Yeah.
And then he opens up to her that like he loves her, and he wants to do this with her. And then she's like, yeah, well, I'm dying. Like,
I'm dying.
And he actually takes it on the chin and is like, well, then what do you want to do? Like, we'll do it together, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know, I'd rather have you to lose than have nothing, right?
Right. I will say, taking a little pivot here, I am in love with Thor's axe.
Yeah, Stormbreaker, being jealous of Mjolnir.
Being the girlfriend. Yeah.
Yeah.
And just every so often, whenever they're talking about Mjolnir,
giving him a glare.
Yeah, just slowly creeping in screen.
Yeah, creeping in the frame and like facing him, basically like, what the fuck are you looking at, bud? And the fact that it's got a temperament, like, he tries to use the Bifrost and it like crashes him into rocks and shit, and it's like, yeah, fuck you, guy. Like they're on rocky terrain right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's trying to, like, call Mjolnir like a dog to get it away from Jane. And Stormbreaker just creeps into frame and is looking at him like, can I help you?
He goes, Stormbreaker. I was just
there you are. I was
you.
looking for you. Yeah. But no, yeah, thinking about that, you know, Jane opening up about the cancer and everything.
Yes.
And them connecting in that way. I thought that was really nice. And again, the movie does more for their relationship than any of the other movies, I felt. And they get to the Shadow Realm eventually. And I thought that was a really cool fight, visually and just the choreography.
I agree. Like, yeah.
Seeing them fight in black and white, because in the Shadow Realm there's no color.
There's no color, which gives Thor the advantage.
But I did think there was the interesting, what do you call it? Shot, I suppose, where Jane uses Mjolnir to, like, light
as
up.
a light, which was in my comic.
Face, yeah, and her face goes to color where she's being lit up.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, it's like faint, but I was like, ooh, I like that.
Yeah. I also like how Zeus's bolt was yellow.
Yeah, it still had color.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and then Gore gets to straight up be really like, damn, this is getting hardcore. Like I thought someone was gonna die there when he's got them all captured and tied up and is trying to get Thor to. Because the gate to eternity has to be unlocked with the Bifrost, which obviously Thor can summon with Stormbreaker. So Jane straight like grabs Stormbreaker and yeets it off into space.
Hardcore.
Like, yeah, like we got to get that shit away from here
because
he wants it. Yeah, yeet. And so yeah, Gore's got them all tied up and shit, and is tormenting all of them. And he even tries to convince Valkyrie. Like, and for a moment, I wouldn't have been surprised if Valkyrie agreed with him.
Yeah, she starts crying.
Yeah, because like he's basically saying like, you're not a god. What have the gods done for you other than send all your sisters to die? And I think, does he mention it or does she mention it to Korg that she was probably romantically involved with at least one of the Valkyries?
She was saying it to Korg.
Yeah, that she lost her lover when all the Valkyries died.
Which that was super sad because like that Korg and her have that. Which again, like I like how Jane and Thor were having that connection, and then Korg and Valkyrie were having a little bit of a connection when Korg was explaining how babies are made. Right, and Valkyrie basically was just drunk and has like one of the umbrellas in like tucked on her ear, and then she's spinning one in her fingers.
Yeah.
But yeah, like she opens up a lot, which is really kind of sad.
Yeah. But yeah, and so I wouldn't have been surprised if like Gore made sense to her, you know. That why are you working alongside a god who, you know, cost you everything, right?
Yeah. I will say, like, a lot of the really good villains that are played, like Vulture, Thanos, and Thanos was kind of an extremist, and then Gore, they all have pretty understandable reasons.
Like motivations, yeah.
Yeah, like, it's like, yeah, that shit makes sense.
Right. I mean, yeah, when you're like, I mean, you know, he's not wrong.
Yeah.
And now let's see. So eventually, you know, they break into an all-out fight, and I like the visual, like, weirdness of the planet almost looking like it's a full-size planet.
And then it cuts real hard, and it's just a moon.
And it's a small moon, yeah. But yeah, so they're fighting in black and white, and it's really cool choreography and cinematography. And it turns into eventually a 3v1 after Valkyrie and the Mighty Thor, like, face off against the shadow creatures long enough to turn their focus on Gore.
Yeah.
And Valkyrie gets stabbed right through the back with the Necroblade. And I was like, well, she's dead. And then she just wasn't, which was
I thought
odd.
it was Thor's bolt.
Oh, yeah, it was Lightning Bolt. Yeah, it was Thunderbolt. It was Thunderbolt.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. Yeah, if it was the Necroblade, she was fucked.
Yeah.
But yeah, he stabs her with Thunderbolt. And so they dip, but not before Gore can get Stormbreaker out of Thor's hands. Which was like, God damn it, Butterfingers there,
Whoops.
It's like, whoops. And we get to see Thor realize how sick Jane really is. Because, they come crashing through with the Bifrost not being the best landing. And they do the thing like from my comic where when she's not holding Mjolnir, she turns back to just regular old Dr. Jane Foster. And you see how sick she really is.
Yeah.
And that her cancer is progressing very quickly. Especially because when she turns to Thor, any of the chemotherapy goes away. And her cancer kind of catches up to where it would have been. And so, they have that argument where Thor's like, all right, well, you stay here, you get your rest. I'm going to go take care of Gore, right? And she's like, well, I thought we were doing everything together. Why can't I come with you? And he, has a little bit of a breakdown or an outburst at her where he says, because I love you. Like,
yeah,
I don't want to lose you. I'd rather do this alone and know that you're here.
And if there's an opportunity for you to get better, you should choose to live.
Yeah. But he does have a very...
It makes sense. Like, even though he said that to Jane, it makes sense where he's like, right, but if you can live, choose to live.
Yeah. But then he also does have the nice bit of point where, he doesn't get to just choose for her, right?
Yeah, which I agree with.
Where he tells her, obviously, if you want to pick up the hammer, I'll do it with you, right? Whatever we do, we'll do together. But, I would hope you would want to live, right? And obviously it doesn't go that way. So yeah, he rolls up to Eternity, like the Gates of Eternity, which had a statue of the Watcher in it. I don't know if you caught that or not.
Yeah, no, I did. I saw that.
Yeah, so it's like, ooh, the Watcher's there. I want to see the Watcher in live action.
I do. Who do you think would be a good cast as the Watcher?
Well, so I'm assuming he'd be a CGI character, and you'd still have, oh god, I lost his name, being the voice.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, so Thor just straight tells her, you gotta stay. He goes and he fights Gore, and he turns the fucking Asgardian children basically into mini Thors, like an army of Thors, which I thought was kind of cool that he's reached a point where he can enchant them, basically.
Yeah.
Like his father. And the fact that he puts the little asterisk on the end, for a short time,
Yeah, for temporary.
Yeah, just for now. And and so the kids are wielding basically bricks, and the one has a fucking stuffed animal.
Yeah,
that he's just lasers out of the power of Thor. And they just go ham. He's got a little army of 5 to 10-year-olds, and they're just
they were crushing
wrecking shop.
Yeah, they were doing it. They were doing what they were told.
And let's see. Yeah, so Thor is on the ropes. Gore actually does start to bust him up a little bit with the Necroblade, and. Because the whole point is they've decided the Necroblade is corrupting him.
It's killing him.
And giving him his power. And so if we can break the blade, he should be out the game, right?
Right.
And so he's got him on the ropes. And then the mighty Thor, you see Jane laying in her hospital bed. And she can feel that there's something wrong. Thor's not getting too hot. And she looks over and Mjolnir's already floating towards her.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta go.
This is us.
And so she does it. She grabs the hammer and goes, saves the day real quick. And you're like, oh, fuck, thank God. You knew it was going to happen, but it was still yeah,
Mm-hmm.
And she and Thor, fuck Gore up.
Hard.
They are clapping him. And she even gets a really good...
Easy GG.
Yeah, thanks for clap. She even gets a good, in the Lord of the Rings Return of the King, one of the villains, you haven't seen it, so I'm not going to bother with names and stuff, basically tells a woman who's in full night gear that no man can kill him, and she pulls off her helmet and has her hair down and says, I am no man, and just stabs him in the fucking face.
That's right.
Jane kind of has that moment where Gore calls her Lady Thor, and she corrects him,
Thor.
saying it's Mighty Thor, and if you can't handle that, then call me Dr. Jane Foster. And then she says something like, taste my hammer.
Yeah, because she's trying to work on a catchphrase.
Trying to work on the catchphrase, yeah. There's that running gag that she's new to all this. It's her first bad guy, and so she's trying to figure out her catchphrase and all that. Yeah, she tastes my hammer, and then she just claps his ass, bwop. So the Thors obviously work together and they break the Necro Blade, defeating Gore. But the Gates of Eternity do open like they just miss it basically.
Yeah.
And Mjolnir kind of deuces out for a bit. I think Mjolnir breaks, right? Having the Necro Blade in it.
Yeah.
It absorbs the Necro Blade to keep him from reassembling it. And then, so Jane's laying on the ground, and obviously the cancer is like aggressively catching up to her.
Mm-hmm.
And so the Thor's holding her, and she's like, dude, you better go stop Gore. And Gore like crawls through the Gates of Eternity, and the three of them are transported there to Eternity, which looks like a monk, just sitting there cross-legged in thought. And it kind of was reminiscent of the Mind Stone or the Soul Stone.
That's what. Oh my, dude! Literally, I was just about to say that as soon as you're done.
Yeah, like just the thin
the
layer of water.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and there's just nothing except you figure in the Soul Stone there was like an arch in the background.
Yeah,
and then in here obviously it's just eternity.
Which makes me think. Do you think there's a reason
connection
behind that? Yeah,
maybe. That like I don't know. Maybe it's the similar idea of like concepts being like visualized, the concept of eternity, the concept of a soul. I don't know. But I did think that it was a little weird. Like I thought maybe there'd be more than just being a dude sitting there. And so Gore's getting ready to make his wish, and Thor's obviously a little preoccupied with Jane actively passing away. And so he and her exchange some very heartwarming words, where she straight up tells him like, I got a little choked up, I was also very tired. But she tells him like to not close himself off again.
Full disclosure, at this point I was rocking.
Yeah, you were about to explode with urine.
Mm-hmm.
You were more urine than man.
Correct, yeah.
But he does, she does. She tells him like, you gotta not close yourself off again. Like, it's okay to love people. You've got to let that happen.
Yeah.
And I was like, again, it was very real. It felt like a conversation that, a young couple might have if one of them is going to pass away. Is like, it's okay to move on kind of thing,
Like, yeah, don't wait up on me.
Yeah. And I was like, oof, this is a little, again, that's one of those moments where I was thinking like, I don't know, like this all of a sudden got very real and very heavy. And she, so she and Thor kind of together through words stop Gore from making the wish, right?
Mm-hmm.
And convince him that maybe the thing he should wish for is, his daughter's life back.
Yeah.
Like, wish for love. Like, the whole reason you're doing this is because of love lost, right?
So,
well, you've got one wish. Yeah, get it back. Honoring her, honor her by giving her a chance again, not by being a genocidal, prick, basically. Right?
Tomato.
Yeah, 6 in one hand, half dozen the other.
Right.
So then obviously Jane does disappear. She whispers she tells him that she figured out her catchphrase. And I like that whatever she says is literally just between the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
It added a level of intimacy there, I think.
Yeah.
Where we don't know what her last words were with him.
Which I'm okay with.
Yeah. So she tells him whatever, and he kind of chuckles at it, and then
he goes like, "That's the best one."
Yeah, that's the best one yet. And then she turns to gold dust and disappears like Odin did. The implication being that she goes to Valhalla. And then Gore does get his daughter back and gets to have his dying moments with her, knowing that she's okay. And he straight up asks Thor, like, you want to keep an eye on this one for me? And he's like, yeah, I got you, bub. Yeah. And so then Gore deuces out, he dies. And you're like, oof, this is kind of awkward. Yeah. What a rocky start to a relationship. Your dad wished you back. I definitely kind of killed him after he tried to kill me. Yeah. I adopt you.
I do like how she calls him Uncle Thor.
Uncle Thor. Yeah. I don't know if you knew this, but that was actually legitimately Chris Hemsworth's daughter.
Was it really?
Yeah. Huh. I didn't know that until I got out of the movie, and I was looking at at the end of the movie, I was looking at the credits, and yeah, I forget her first name.
As soon as those credits hit, I closed my eyes just so I could not pissing myself.
Pray to whoever's listening.
Yeah.
You were throwing up prayers to all of them.
Yeah, just every single one, like anything.
Yeah. If, please, someone pull through for me. And so...
By God, Thor takes her under the wing. I gotta start going to a lot of church.
Thor takes her under his wing, and the duo act is like you said, uncle and daughter, or father-daughter, like an adoptive situation, right? Yeah. And they travel the galaxy protecting the people that can't protect themselves. And I like that the little moment of him not taking himself as seriously and being a little bit more chill where like she's drawn on Mjolnir, drawn a face on him.
Yeah, and he's like, that's not coming off.
That's not coming off. Like, that is permanent. And he's like, you know what? I think you're right. It does add a little something, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he just lets it pass. And then
imagine getting rocked by
a smiley face. Like a crayon
on the bottom.
Yeah, like it looks like a bike handle with the frills on the end.
I was gonna say a pom-pom.
Yeah, the palm on the end. And then I did like the little the fact that they are Love and Thunder, he and the daughter.
Yeah.
It's like, that's the name, you know.
Yeah, it all clicks. But also she gets the axe. She gets
Yeah, well, that was funny to me that he's got Mjolnir and she's got Stormbreaker, which is as big as her.
Mm-hmm. Thought that was funny. As soon as Mjolnir is back in the picture, he's like, sorry, babe.
He's like, sorry, baby, yeah. And let's see, obviously we got our post-credit scenes like you were talking about. And the first post-credit scene gives us Hercules, which I thought was kind of a neat inclusion.
I'm excited for that. I'm excited to see where that goes.
I didn't write down the actor's name, but he is, if anybody's watched the very popular show, Ted Lasso, he's one of the main characters in that show. And so he's playing Hercules. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. Yep, you could continue.
And obviously Zeus is alive and is very angry that
naturally
that a group just rolled up, just crazy style, shanked him with his own gun. Got him with his own gun, and then dipped. Right?
They're like, all right, we're out of here. Deuce.
And then the last post-credit scene is a nice, sweet little 10-second clip of Jane arriving in Valhalla, and the fact that Heimdall's there to greet her and tell her, like, basically, we've been expecting. I'm here to get you. Like, we've been waiting on you.
Yeah.
Feel free to go join us in the dining hall. Like, this is what it's all about, baby. And
I want to see a little more of that, and I'm not sure if we're gonna get it.
I do think the implication there is that it's a place. You know what I mean? Like, it is a legitimate place, which makes me think there's a possibility for any of those characters in Valhalla to reappear in some way. And I do like the implication that Jane, like, there's a double. Was that a fart?
No, I coughed.
Oh, I was like, damn! The battle that Jane died in was the battle against cancer.
Yeah.
And that's what took her to Valhalla.
Yeah, she died in battle.
Yeah. Again, yeah, like, if you're going through cancer, that's something that's really close to home. I honestly don't know if it's a movie to go see in theaters.
Yeah, it's...
Some of that stuff is pretty real.
Heavy.
And not to use, like, a buzzword, but I could see it being somewhat triggering of, like, shit that you're actively dealing with.
I mean, for sure.
But yeah, so overall, like, there was some really good stuff in it and some really not cool stuff in it that I was like, all right, I could deal without or whatever. But I mean, I had fun watching it. I enjoyed it, and I do think some of the stuff that it did well, it did really well. And then there's some stuff that I wish it had more of or didn't have at all.
Yeah. Again, I think Gore. I agree. Gore should have gotten more screen time. I think, which Christian Bale said. The last episode we were talking about that, right?
Maybe.
That he said he wanted more screen time, or maybe we might have just been talking about it.
I think we might have just been talking about it.
Yeah, but I remember, we're doing just a little bit of research before we went, and then Christian Bale was saying he wanted more screen time, and I agree with him. I think he should have gotten more, and I don't think he should have died.
I do want to say that I think we've been recording for a long time.
All right, well, we'll wrap it.
And, what you been thinking about?
Well, I'm glad you mentioned, because I was just going to say that, welcome back to Chris's Cryptid Corner. I'm your host, Chris. I am taking a bit of a pivot, because, I don't know, I just feel like I've been stroking off aliens for a minute, and I know I've been saying it's going to be... Yes. So, I was just going to take a bit of a back break for this episode here, and talk about a conspiracy that's I often think about, because where I work, a lot of it's glass, so I do get to see the outside a lot.
Yeah.
And geese are just constantly in the fucking area. Right?
Is this the birds aren't real thing?
Yes, I'm talking about birds aren't real, baby. You hit it right on the nose.
Jesus.
So this one here, thankfully, it's pretty short, right? Nothing too crazy. So birds aren't real. By far the most outlandish conspiracy on the list.
But is it?
But then it goes into birds systematically have been exterminated and replaced with exact replica drones. The birds aren't real movement says it's been around since the 70s, since 1976. Like many great conspiracy theories, it brings together many other theories, a form of grand unified theory of government surveillance. And it says the CIA used poisonous gas which is called chemtrails, is the gas.
Yep.
To kill off all live birds in the country in an operation called Water in the Country. And they were replaced with drones built at Area 51 to watch people and monitor their behavior. They believe Kennedy was assassinated because he refused to implement the bird watching program, which leads into a whole other thing. And then the engineers...
Yeah.
And then the engineers who built the birds were quickly sent to Vietnam and were captured by the Viet Cong afterwards. And then
Convenient.
yeah. And then it says in the past few years, the bird conspiracy have popped up in 6 cities to form a movement to inform the American people of the avian overseers.
That's right.
Yeah, and so I mean, yeah, it's super short, but I mean, it is something I find a little silly.
Well, yeah, I mean,
but
I mean,
also it
figure some of that stuff like MK Ultra turned out to be true.
Yeah, so it does just make me sit back and wonder, but like, I don't believe they killed all of them, but I wouldn't be surprised if they threw out a couple drones.
If there were a couple.
Right, threw in a couple,
Yeah.
and they're like, let's see how it goes.
But also, do they need to go to that extent when you look at like the NSA stuff, right?
Right. Also, I mean,
Why do we need to invent a whole conspiracy when that one was true? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and also, I mean, our phones are always listening to us. I mean, if you have
That's what I mean. The NSA is always
they are always listening.
like Big Brother's watching.
Yeah. What was it we were talking about the other day? When we say like, "Hey Siri" or anything like that. How does it know when to pick up?
Yeah,
because it's always listening.
It's always
to its
listening.
name.
Yeah. And the mic's always on. That's how it knows you said its name.
Yeah. So I mean, that stuff like that. I mean, it's pretty interesting to think about and stuff like that. And if I don't reappear on the podcast or in life, just know that I didn't do it. I didn't commit suicide.
I have a list of names that will automatically update, or upload to a black box on,
I'm getting a call from a no caller ID. Like actually.
Are you?
Deadass. Like I'm not kidding. Look, I'm gonna text it to you.
Pick it up.
No, I'm not picking that shit up. I'm gonna send
answer it live on right now.
I already declined it.
Ah, man.
Well, no.
Content.
Fuck. There's a missed call. Excuse me. It wasn't even an current call. But look, I'm gonna send it to you right now. All right, so vouch for me. Beep that shit. Read it. Look at it. This is about an hour ago.
It says you got a call from is that Mike Tyson?
No, but yeah, you see it. No caller ID.
And it does say no caller ID.
That's fucking spooky. They know what I'm going to say before I say it. It's because I pulled up the article right before we started recording.
That's what it is.
And yeah, we started recording at, 9:05? That's 9:23.
Yeah, something like that.
Dude,
yeah.
I didn't do it. It wasn't me, right? I'm perfectly
Shaggy.
sane. Yeah, it wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
I've also been kind of thinking about taking up, after the end of that episode there, I've been thinking about Minecraft actually lately.
I don't know why, but I thought you were going to say fishing.
Nope. Fishing's all right. I'm not good at it. I don't have the fishing touch.
Or the patience.
I have patience for it. I will say I don't mind sitting out there for a while. I like sitting outside. But no, I've been thinking about Minecraft just I've been cooking ideas for building shit, and for whatever reason it won't let me install it on my PC. And like I've just been in the runaround for it for quite a minute now. So I don't know, man. I don't know, but it is what it is. If I can't, say la vie. But what about you? What have you been thinking about, Colin?
I've been thinking about. Oh, excuse me. I just farted. I don't think it picked up on mic, but it felt right. Let's see. No. So there's this free documentary on YouTube that Sony made. They actually made 2 of them, but there's one in particular that I really enjoyed. We actually watched it together earlier in the week. Raising Kratos, and it's about the making of the God of War from 2018. And I really like the other one that Sony made was for The Last of Us, and it was called Grounded. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't as interesting, I don't think, but I also think part of that is the development of the God of War might have just been more interesting in general. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There was a bit more stakes, I think. But I want to see more like it. I do like seeing some of that behind the scenes and what all went into it, and maybe what some of the early iterations. And a lot of times you don't get to see put a face to the creation of something like that. Where it's not a movie where you see the actors and all that, right?
Right.
It's a fully digitally realized game. But we talked about it. I would like to see them do something for like Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah. Because that was a banging game.
Yeah, and it's from Sucker Punch, which, so it's a totally different game tonally from what they're usually making with Infamous and things like that. So I think that'd be interesting to see them come. Okay. And the fact that they went as far as putting in the oh my god, I just lost the director's name, but basically the famous like Japanese samurai director, like the visual modes, where you can play it in full Japanese with English subtitles, and it's got the black and white and the film grain and the high wind. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like,
and so just that dedication to like the samurai culture.
And yeah, I played it twice, and that was the second time when I played it. I did it was had subtitles, and it was like that old timey Japanese film, which was very cool.
If I just look up Kurosawa, I was like, I know that if I look up the phrase samurai director, there's like the one.
Kurosawa, yeah,
Kurosawa films.
But and they also had a big, huge expansion update too that I haven't played yet.
Yeah, which I haven't played.
Yeah, I'd like to. I think I might buy it.
Yeah, like again, the end of that game is just incredible. Like that, I mean, the whole game is. But yeah, that face off between the uncle and you is.
Oh man, you have no honor, and you're a slave to it.
You are a slave to it. Yeah,
that shit hits. Did you save him or did you kill him?
I killed him.
Yes, so did I.
Yeah, because I mean, it is that weird, like because of the way that honor and all. Seen in their society, it was obviously the better choice to kill him.
Yeah, that's what he
died
wanted.
Honorably. Yeah. I don't know, man. I like seeing some of the behind the scenes stuff. I'm trying to also get into a little bit more nonfiction, and I think a good inroad for me on that would be nonfiction about fiction that I'm passionate about.
Sure. I mean, you got to think like The Last of Us is it's fiction, but it's based off a real thing, the cordyceps.
Right. Yeah.
Which I could go on forever about, but we're running a long episode.
Yeah, we are.
So we'll touch back on that.
Let's see here. Yeah, speaking of, like, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. You said your piece?
Yeah, I said my piece.
All right. Speak now or forever hold your peace. So, yeah, we want to thank you guys so much for your attention, your support.
Of course.
If you guys enjoyed this episode, be sure to give it a great review. Tell your friends about it. Share us on social media. Do you want to say it?
I do. If you want to reach out to us on social media or just give us
No. The phrase that you've been wanting to say. Give us a great review.
Shake that
share
booty.
It with your friends. No. We also have a YouTube page now.
Oh, make sure you smash that like button.
Yeah. Subscribe. Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. No, I don't think I'm going to say that.
No, I don't either. I don't think... I haven't really... I made the YouTube channel like just on a whim. I don't know if anybody's even found the videos or watched them. Because, I mean, there's nothing to watch. It's just the podcast. Like, on the real. Well, we do have 2 subscribers, though.
Oh, shit.
Oh, fuck. Hold on. We'll do it live. Let's see who it is. It's probably me. Oh, shit. Someone named Mad Mason. Oh, fuck. We're in it. And then the other one is me.
That's right.
So. Airhorn.wav. You know? Let's see. Sorry. I got a little distracted there. Yeah, Chris, if people want to reach out with us, get in touch with us, give us some feedback.
Yeah.
Tell us to shorten the episodes up, lengthen them up.
Right, yeah. If you wanted to reach out to us on Instagram, our Instagram is Simply Whelmed Podcast. Our Twitter handle is Whelmed_simply. And then, of course, our email is simplywhelmedmailbag@gmail.com, where you can definitely send in requests, anything you want to talk about on the Cryptid Corner. Or, of course, definitely devote and sacrifice your body to our religion. It's not a cult.
It's a church.
It is a church. So, yeah, I mean, definitely reach out through there. Both Pastor Colin and I are definitely going to be...
Brother Colin.
Yeah, Brother Colin will be giving sermons, having mass. So
Brother Colin, Brother Chris.
Yeah.
It's not a criminal organization. It is a tax haven.
Correct. Yes.
So next week, we're going to be recapping Ms. Marvel, if Twizzle Dick over here ever gets around to watching any of it.
Listen, hold on. Dude.
Yeah, I said Twizzle Dick.
Cut me some fucking slack. All right. I'm trying to catch up on bunch of people at work have just been riding my back about catching up on. I mean, it's every day. I'll clock in and it's like if I get a cup of coffee or something, or if I'm fucking drinking my water as I'm coming in, like the first thing they say is, how many episodes you watch of Clone Wars? Right? It was funny the first couple days. But now it's just.
Do they listen to this show?
Yes, they do.
Do they listen to this show?
They do.
All right, then I want you motherfuckers to listen right up right now.
Yeah, it's
listen. I
Brother Colin
make the schedule. Brother Colin. Just started very. Brother Colin. No, I make the schedule on the podcast in tandem with Christopher here.
But no, fuck
Brother Chris.
That's right.
And Clone Wars ain't in the roster right now, babies. So get off his dick!
No, but so I'm getting railed about Clone Wars, and I finished up Barry. And then yeah,
yeah, you did. Good job.
Yeah, I did. And then fucking Ms. Marvel, and then ultimately, I just want to watch The Boys. That's what I want to do. So that's what I've been doing. And I've been getting so much shit from you, everyone at work. Like, it's bullshit.
All right, here's what you do. All right, fuck them at work. All right, you focus on you and the podcast. Okay, so you want to watch The Boys? Watch The Boys. Right.
That's right. You know what? That's what I'm gonna do.
But hold on, hold on. Don't run with it.
It ain't.
But you also need to watch Ms. Marvel. So what you do is watch an episode of The Boys. Or no, you watch an episode of Ms. Marvel, and then you watch an episode of The Boys.
All right, I probably make something like that happen.
Because if you watch an episode of The Boys, you're not going to go watch Ms. Marvel. You're just going to keep watching The Boys.
Yeah, it is a very binge. Like, I don't watch a single episode. I'll watch 2 or 3.
Yeah, so watch Ms. Marvel, and then watch The Boys. Because also this Wednesday, Ms. Marvel wraps up on the day that this episode comes out.
I got
So then you can just plow through it, get it all out, and it's 6 episodes. And then you can watch the rest of The Boys.
We'll have to talk about The Boys. We'll have to do an episode. Or maybe I'll just... Because you haven't seen any of it, so...
Yeah, I've seen like 4 episodes, maybe.
Yeah.
I do want to give it another try because like it didn't bite me at first, but everybody else on the internet is like, "Boys, The Boys." I'm like, maybe I missed it. Maybe I need to try it again.
I like it a lot because it feels very real in the sense of like superheroes are happening. It's a lot about like corporate corruption with superheroes, and it's like, yeah, it's fitting. Yeah, that's it. This is America.
So rough schedule. Rough schedule. Yeah, we're going to talk about Ms. Marvel next week. And then, actually, next Friday, Nope comes out. So we'll get to talk about that.
Dude, I'm itching for that movie. I'm so excited.
I am too. And I think we have a blank week.
Oh, I gotta pee.
So maybe that's an opportunity for us to talk about The Boys or something.
Don't fucking talk.
And then after that, we, are you leaving?
No, I gotta pee. Let's wrap it up.
Oh, all right. Yeah, let's wrap it up.
I got the fucking extra large sitting next to me.
Prostate checked?
I drove to the theater, picked up an extra large drink. Yeah, fucking 68 ounce.
Jesus Christ, it's more than a half gallon.
Yeah, dude, that
Thank
thing
you everyone so much
huge.
for listening. We'll see you next Wednesday.
Bye.
That's the end of the show, Chris. You have to get in there. Tell them bye. Go
Deuce, deuce.
I'm ready on you.
Pop.
A little higher.
Pop.
A little more.
Was that good?
It didn't even come through.
No, I didn't say anything.
I didn't figure it did. All right.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Simply Whelmed podcast. I'm your host, Chris, and today I'll be joined by my co-host, Colin. Colin.